Hi, welcome back to The Scent Advocate. Tonight we're talking about savory fragrances. Been wanting to do this for a while, but up until now I really haven't had enough in my collection or among my samples to talk at any length, certainly not enough to make a video about savory fragrances, but I've gotten quite a few more samples and I'm really excited to get into this. So let's jump right into the deep end of the ocean with Miss Tranchant by Hilde Soliani. I'm sure I've butchered that. This fragrance is supposed to be butter and oysters. Now, there is absolutely nothing in my experience sweet about this. This is something of a floral butter. So it's a cool butter, but a little reminiscent of butter flavoring, like something you might experience at a movie theater, but it doesn't smell artificial. It's just stronger than regular butter might be coming out of the fridge. This is cool, but it smells like butter that's been warmed up, except it's not a warm fragrance. There is something mildly floral in the background, but it dies down. I've tested this on my skin and that part does die down. There's something in the background. It doesn't smell like fish. Let me just get that out of the way. There are no gross dead animal notes in this. No way. So I kind of feel like there could be a very fresh raw oyster in the background, because raw oysters, in my experience, are not at all fishy or anything like that. They have almost no smell except the smell of the ocean. You know, that salty, briny, aquatic, uniquely oceanic smell. Not K-Lone or anything like that. That's very faint in the background, very butter forward, but a butter that's got a non-sweet floral note that does settle down after a minute or two. Definitely nothing in the traditional sense of the gourmand. So when I think about gourmands, at least for me, I've always thought of desserts or something like that. But in this case, it's definitely savory. And that faint floral is not at all putting it into that sweet desserty category at all. This is unusual to me. I really like it. I like it a lot. But I do not like it as much as I like Buon Pranzo, also by Hilde Soliani. This fragrance is supposed to be butter and black pepper. But the way this is combined, I get more of an oyster feeling from this one. And yet oyster is not listed among the notes in any site I looked at to describe this fragrance. Wow, it's definitely a more savory fragrance than Miss Tranchant. The black pepper is not as black pepper forward as other fragrances I've reviewed that have a heavy black pepper note. This instead comes across to me as that zinc heavy, really interesting, just kind of firm, beautiful experience you get from eating raw oysters or raw clams. there's just something about it where you feel the zinc just kind of pulsating through your body. You get that rush of vitamins, almost like when you eat an orange or any citrus fruit, you get that hit of vitamin C. I feel like I get a hit of zinc when I eat raw oysters, and that is definitely the case with this. The butter here is warm, right? So in Miss Tranchant, it was a cold butter with a strong fragrance of the butter. The butter is muted and really beautifully blended with that black pepper, giving rise to a marine note. It's a very briny, oceanic fragrance, and I think of eating seafood on a beach at a seaside restaurant. That's what I get from this one. I am a huge fan of Buon Pranzo. In fact, if this continues to test well for me, this will definitely go on my wish list. It is very unusual and very savory. Keeping with that oyster note, we've got Cocoyster by Salum Parfums. I expected this to be more oyster forward. Now, there is supposed to be an oyster note in here. I don't get it. This is very pretty to me. It's what I would call a salty floral. It's a yellow floral, ylang ylang definitely, mixed with coconut, but not an overpowering coconut. This is not a sweetened coconut. This is not a coconut macaroon, that kind of gourmand coconut. This is unsweetened coconut, ylang ylang, salt water. I'm not getting oyster from this. Certainly not like what I get from Buon Pranzo, which is not supposed to have oyster at all in it. And yet that's what I smell. This is very enjoyable. I think it's a safe, among those that I'll discuss tonight, and probably among those that I discuss for most of the videos I make. I tend to go off in a direction that is somewhat unconventional, and this is not really unconventional. I love it. I absolutely love it. If I had it, a full bottle, I'd wear it, and I'd wear it often. Cocoyster by Salum Parfums. Moving on, switching gears a bit. This is Phaedon's. It's an eau de toilette, but it's simple concombre. I'm probably butchering this. Simple eau concombre. Simple day eau concombre. I've got a full bottle. So, I loved it. This is cucumber, straight up. And it is, to me, this is unbelievably beautiful. Wow. Now, I have another cucumber fragrance, and I think it's a Marc Jacobs. But let's see. Yeah, let me just grab that real quick, and we'll see how that... Sorry. Here we go. Okay, so this Marc Jacobs I loved, and it is called Cucumber, and this is what is it? It's an eau de toilette as well. It's 100 ml. I've had this for a while. I really love it. Definitely a warm weather fragrance. Both of them are, in my opinion, but so refreshing. And neither one is sweet. Here we go. This one, now that I smell it compared to Simple Concombre, the Marc Jacobs has something of a floral accord. And yet, if I hadn't put the two of them together, I would never have told you that Marc Jacobs has a floral accord, but it does comparatively. So the Marc Jacobs is wonderful. I would definitely say that it leans more floral than cucumber, but it's wet, juicy, cucumber-like. Simple Concombre is so watery, delicious. There's a floral, but nothing like the Marc Jacobs. And so I was comfortable adding this to my collection because I did not think it was repetitive. But this is the kind of cucumber you'd slice up and just eat on a hot day. Probably at the beach, right? We've got a beach theme going here, a savory beach theme. Okay. And moving on, we've got a very new edition. I thought it was priced so beautifully. Yes, this is Hermes Eau de Basilic Pourpre, and this is an Eau de Toilette 50 ml. Great price on this, by the way. Got it as a sample, and I love it. This is a savory basil, like the kind I'd put in the sauce. Basil, like fresh basil. This is so nice. And it's not just basil. There's a little bit of tomato vine in here too. Really wonderful. This is something I would wear if I were going to work in the garden or maybe go for a walk where I was expecting to perspire a little bit. This sort of fragrance on me just blooms. It smells amazing. I think it's something with my body chemistry, but I've seen this on other people too. When it comes to anything gourmand or floral, or even some of the skin scents, the heavy muskier ones or the ambrettes, I just like, those are not safe for me to perspire in. This is. So are the cucumbers, by the way. Beautiful stuff. Smells like a cooking ingredient, and there are times when I need that. Again, I don't wear fragrances for anyone but myself. I think this is definitely unisex. By the way, so far all of these have been. This is, you know, if you're not really into savory gourmands, test it first. But I love it. It's really interesting. Have you tried this one? The bottle's beautiful too. Okay. In keeping with the basil note, we've got Aesop's Tacit. And this is, how many mils is this? I don't know. It looks like maybe 30 mil, I'm guessing. Could be 50 mil. 30 or 50. Yep. And it's 50. Okay. And this is an eau de parfum. This has an herbal feel to it. Very basil forward. Now, I get a burst of lemon in here. This makes me think of a really good tabbouleh salad. I know tabbouleh salad doesn't usually have basil in it, at least not any that I've ever tasted or seen recipes for, but there's a basil in here. And I think it may be more the lemon that you get when it first opens up, but it's that fresh parsley, basil, tomato, lemon. It's, oof, you can almost taste it, like just amazing, beautiful. You know, there's a faint hint of olive oil in there, just like in tabbouleh salad, but it's not heavy. Same thing, it is unisex, really interesting stuff. For me, this is a summer choice. I wouldn't, well, you wear whatever you want, whenever you want, as I always say, but that's more of a summer choice for me. I would not be afraid to perspire in that. I think it, you know, when it sets on my skin after a while, it becomes more parsley. The lemon isn't as sharp, it settles. and it's still savory, but it's really nice. It's not something that, might offend people around you. This one, it wouldn't offend people around you, but someone might say, oh, like, what is that? I think this, they would say, oh, what's that? Yeah. Anyway, the last one I have for this evening is Taipei by One Day. And this is, I think it's also 50 ml, and I believe it's an EDP. This is rice, straight out of the rice cooker. This is all starchy rice. Now, I love rice as a note. I like to eat rice too, but this is, if you were to get glutinous rice and cook it, and nothing else, just glutinous rice. That smell in the air. That's this. It is so comforting. It is so delicious. It is so photorealistic, and it is not sweet. And therefore, I have it in the savory category. This is a strong love for me. I have a few rice fragrances that I really, really enjoy. I've talked about them here and there, but this one is the most photorealistic. This is very, very special stuff. I love it. So Taipei, One Day. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I have another one. Real quick, I just realized. Don't go away. I'm coming right back. Okay. Here we go. From the Garden. Whoa. All right. This one, I completely forgot to grab it before. It's Maison Margiela. It is probably an eau de toilette. I think it's an EDT, and I think it's like 30 ml. So here it is. I got a small one because this was a blind buy, but I love it. This is tomato vine, but there's a floral and a blonde wood. Oh, it's gorgeous. Really, really, really nice. It may be a sandalwood. I don't know. The bottle says earth and tomato leaves. I don't get like a petrichor note here. So, I think of that being a really earthy fragrance. I'm not getting that. And it's not mushroomy at all. And the floral dies down and leaves you with that tomato vine. Gorgeous stuff. Very, very green. This smells green. Again, perfect for outdoor activities, especially gardening, just to kind of elevate that whole tomato experience. If you're growing fruits and vegetables and herbs and stuff, this would be, just spot on. It's beautiful. Unisex for sure. Probably leans feminine. Okay, so those are my savory picks for tonight. I definitely have some more in my collection somewhere of samples. I have a lot of samples. I have far more samples than I have full bottles, as I'm sure most of you do. Buying a full bottle can be expensive, and I try to be really, really mindful, and I've been collecting for years. So this isn't, what you see behind me is not the result of any, like haul or something. This is, been a long time coming. So most of my savories are recently contemplated, but I know I have more in my box of samples, and when I dig them out, I'll probably do a follow-up. What are your favorite savory fragrances? Do you lean towards the green herbals, or do you lean towards, the rice, or are you more of, that oceanic type. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you aren't yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing. And if you like the video, give me a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.